Hello everyone. Let's study about the different types of movements which our body it shows with reference to the different types of joints. So, when we talk about the definition for the movement, it is basically an act of changing place or position by the entire body or by one or more of its part. So, most of the organisms living on this earth they show the movement. Some of the exceptions are coelenterate and sponges, which are belonging to the lower invertebrates or lower stratas of the animal kingdom. So, let's see what is the basic significance of the movement. Basically, movement helps the organism for uh, uh, obtaining its food from the environment, from being escaping itself from the enemies. So, whatever be the type of movement, it is basically a coordinated act in which most of the organism they are using their muscular or cartilaginous activities in coordination with the body's different mechanisms through which they change their place. So let's see, there is one question which might be coming in our minds: what is the basic difference between locomotion and movement? As it is very difficult to separate movement from the locomotion. In animals, locomotion is basically an intimate, basically it is related to the movement. So it is literally the movement of an animal as a whole from one place to another, or a simply change in place. And locomotion basically involves the muscular movement and its uh, use by the different organisms by their different body parts. So let's talk about the different types of movements. So movements can be muscular one and non-muscular one. So muscular movement, as you have already studied in the previous section of the information given to you, in which earthworms they are using the muscles or setae for the movement from one place to another place. Likewise, foot is being used by the snails. Likewise, in case of different other organisms, starfishes, etc., whatever be the case of the lower invertebrates, they have the basic movement through the muscles of their body. And the second category is of non-muscular movement, in which we basically deal with the movement with respect to the coordinated action of the bones and cartilages. So we are a human being, we also belongs to that category. And in us, most of the movements which in which we are talking about the walking or running, like that activities are being coordinated by the coordinated and mutual activities of bones, cartilages with respect to the muscular fibers. Okay, so let's see what are the different types of joint which is given in your books, which help us in the movement. So joints, let's see what is the definition for joints. Joints are basically the structural arrangement of the tissues which combines or connects the bones. So bones may be either, it can be a combination of two bone or more than two bones. So most of the joints are basically the coordinated structures or structural arrangement of the tissues through which two or more bones they are being clubbed together for a particular activity. So a joint is basically in biology is also known as articulation. So study of joints is known as arthology. So what are the basic functions of the joints? Let's point out one of the activities of the joints. So most of the joints they permit movement between the opposed surfaces of the bones which they connect, but this is not essential, as joint may be immovable in some of the examples which I am going to tell you in this video. So some of the joints they allow the growth and structure through which they are connected. The joints make the body flexible. So there are basically when we classify biologically joints, they are of three types. One is immovable joint, or also known as fibrous joint. So most of the immovable joints in which the bones are fixed, like crinum, or you can say the skull bone, and the tooth sockets in which the movement of the bones are hindered, and they are held firmly together by the bundles of a strong white collagen fibers. So most of the immovable joints are often known as sutures. The peristomium that covers the bone dips between them act as a septum. This allows the bones to grow at their periphery, but they remain joined together. And let's see the second type of joint, which is having the case of slightly movable joints in which the cartilaginous tissues are there. So the slightly movable joints are found between the center of vertebrae at the pubic symphysis and between the ribs and sternum. This structures I'll show you when we'll discuss the human skeletal system. So elastic pads of fibrocartilage, they separate the bones that are held together by the ligaments extending across the joint. The pads allow the limited movement at the joint. So such a joint is often known as symphysis. This is because this joint we can bend or rotate our backbone to some of the extent. So that is why it is called as slightly movable type of joint. So the third type of joint is a joint in which the bones are freely movable, and they are biologically known as synovial joints. So the freely movable joints mostly exist between the limb bones, and they permit a great deal of movement. The general structure of synovial joint is the most of the adjacent bones, they are often so shaped that the enlargement of one fits into a depression in the another. This makes the bone less likely to disarticulate during the movement. A layer of hyaline cartilage, which is also known as articular cartilage, covers the ends of the bone. The cartilage provides smooth and somehow elastic surface and reduces the friction. A space called a synovial cavity between the two bones gives them the free movement. The cavity is lined by the fibrous structure that is known as synovial membrane containing the secretory cells. They later secretes a thick slimy fluid which is known as synovial fluid, and this fluid lubricates the joint to allow nearly frictionless movement of the bones on each other. So friction of cartilage on this type of synovial joint is only 20% that of the if we compare with an ice. So the synovial fluid, it nourishes the structures participating in the movement of the body. So let's see the different types of synovial joints. So I have taken the first example for the immovable joint, that is the fibrous joint. So here you can see the different structures which are shown here in the form of the sutures. This is the structure of a crinum of the human brain, where you can see that the bones, they are so fixed that they don't show any movement, and that's why they are being known as fixed joints. And the type of tissue which is being used in the formation of these type of joint is basically the fibrous joint. So in our skull, the different bones which are being joined together are the examples of fixed joints, so they don't show any movement. Likewise, so in your textbook there are only two types of joint which is being mentioned here, that is they have categorized the joints into movable and non-movable joints, so or immovable joints. So the first category of immovable joints, in which we have taken the example of the crinum bone. Next is the example of the free joints or synovial joints, where the free movement of the different bones are possible. So you can see the example here. One of the example is ball and socket joint, which is present at the shoulder joint, you can see here it is the pectoral girdle, where the ball like structure of the humerus, it is being fixed into the claviceps, and it shows the free rotation. So in these type of joints, one bone is acting as a ball shaped structure and other bone provides a hollow socket type space on this ball shaped bone. So if we stand up or move leg in circle, we will feel that we can rotate our leg making a big circle. This type of ball and socket joint is present in our hip joints and shoulder joints. Now we'll see the next type of joint, that is the pivot joint. So you can see it is present at the uh, in this type of joint, the rounded surface of the bone fits into the ring formed by other, and example for this type of joint is joint of neck and head, which allows the movement forward and backward and turns the head right or left. It allows rotational movements only. And see the number 2 and 3 are basically the examples for the hinge joint, so it has to be rectified here. I need to rectify this. See, pivot joint is present basically at this area. So this is the position for the pivot joint. So this is the example for the third structure, that is the hinge joint. So this is the example for hinge joints. This is the example for pivot joint. So pivot joint is basically a rounded surface of one where one bone fits into the ring formed by the other. So the very good example for this is the joint of neck and head, which allows it to move forward and backward and turns the head right or left. So it allows rotations or rotational movements only. So this is the example of the pivot joint. Next is the hinge joint. So here we can see the two examples of hinge joint. One is elbow joint and the next one is knee joint. So I have labeled it as A and B. So elbow joint and knee joint, why they are known as hinge joint? See, what is the definition for the hinge joint? In this type of joint, basically it's an example when how you're opening a door or closing it, because it is fixed with a hinge. So likewise, the movement of the door, in which we can easily open or close the door, but we cannot do this action. We can do it in a restricted way. Likewise, we can move our arms and our you can say legs pertaining to the joints, that is elbow or knee, in only one direction. So in the reverse direction the movement is not at all possible. So such type of joints, they allow movements of the bone only in one direction, that is either in forward or backward direction. So that's why they are known as hinge joints. These are present in elbow, knee or finger joints and jaw. So these are the examples for different types of movements which you should understood with respect to the different body structures or the bones, where the association of the bones, they are forming joints in your body. So the important information regarding this is that you should able to classify the movable joints in connection to the immovable joints. So you have studied The example for the movable joint in case of the shoulder joint here, that is ball and socket joint and hip joint. So this is also the example of ball and socket joint where free movement of the bones are possible. The next one is the pivot joint, which is the area where the neck and the skull, they are being joined and they show some sort of restricted movement. And the third one, that is the example for synovial movement joint, is the hinge joint, for which the example of elbow and knees are there in your syllabus. And the next example is of the immovable joint is about the skull. So here you can see the bones which are fixed, they can't show the movement. See the regions, see these are the sutures which won't allow the bone to change its position. So most of the bones which are present in the cranium, that is in the skull bone, they are showing the fixed joint. So this is all about the type of joints in our body. I hope you will understood the concept which I want to tell you. I'm expecting that you will classify the different types of joints and make, or you can write the information related to those different joints in your notebooks. Thank you.